What's going on, hashtag Burritos Nation? I'm in the car again. Good old Nastasia is her name, if you don't remember. I'm wearing my Seth Rollins shirt right here, so that's pretty darn cool because I couldn't find my Dolph Ziggler shirt, but Seth Rollins is my second favorite. But anyways, it's your boy Rainbow Warrior here with another episode of WWE Supercard number 348, baby. I'm not feeling great. 8 and great, they rhyme, but I'm not feeling great. I still have to rhyme every single time. But we're going to be talking about Summerslam in this episode. And there's a lot of spoilers here if you haven't seen it, so you probably shouldn't watch them until you've finished watching SummerSlam. But we're going to do a little bit of gameplay, not so much, but, you know, I'm just going to talk about how I felt about SummerSlam, and I'm just going to come out right out and say it was absolutely horrible in my opinion. There was a few really good points, and then just the rest was absolute, excuse my language, crap. Yeah, sorry little kids. But yeah, there's a lot of things I could say, but since I'm trying to keep this channel pretty PG, I'm not going to say it. But first of all, let's start out with the matches that I thought were fantastic. First match of the night, we got ourselves Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens. Now that, my friends, was a fantastic match, as we see Kevin Owens right there. That match just against Enzo and Big Cass, of course, the fans going crazy for Enzo and Big Cass. Also, everyone loves Kevin Owens. Some Jericho-holics are out there. I like Jericho. I'm a Jericho-holic. But that finishing maneuver, it was just a really good match, and I felt like Jericho and Owens, they carried the match a lot of the whole time, which was pretty cool. And then they let some good moves for Enzo and Big Cass. I was really surprised that they didn't turn on each other, and they actually worked really good as a good unit together, as a good tag team. So I don't know if they're going to keep on going with that or if they're going to turn on each other later. We'll have to see about that, but that was a really good match. I love that pop-up code breaker that they got for a tag team maneuver. I mean, it looks like he's going to do his pop-up powerbomb, but instead of popping himself up into the powerbomb, he pops himself up backwards into a code breaker, which it looked like Jericho wasn't really ready for, but he still landed it. It was pretty cool, so I liked that match a lot. Next match I really liked was the AJ Styles versus John Cena match. Like, oh my gosh, guys, you guys have already heard how much I don't like John Cena. John Cena had a really good match. This was the first match that I have seen in a long time where, we're going to actually watch an ad here, because why not? But this is the first match in a really long time where John Cena actually didn't get carried the whole entire stinking match. Like, legit, bro. I'm pretty sure I have the media down. Stop. There we go. I know. But that was a really good match. AJ Styles ended up pointing with a phenomenal forearm. Actually was like, dude, AJ, pin him after the Styles clash. But he ended up doing it after the phenomenal forearm afterwards. But it was a really good match. Yeah. Actually, hard talking about all this stuff while I'm playing and stuff with a stupid ad. But yeah. But besides those two matches, this is where it gets horrible. I don't think the pay-per-view was good at all after this. This was actually, in my opinion, the worst pay-per-view of the year. The New Day one was not too bad. It was Tulsa and Big E come back. We didn't get to have an actual ending to the match besides disqualification. Pretty funny out there for a little bit. Jon Stewart got a lot of boos from the fans, but he did take Big E's place for a little bit there for the New Day. New Day still champions, won by disqualification. I'm sure that the club will end up getting another opportunity soon. The kickoff show, I thought there was a good match there with Strawberry Sheamus and Cesaro. That was actually a good match, a lot better than a lot of the matches on the main card. I mean, Sheamus actually, I like Sheamus, and he actually finally got a chance to win a match. I mean, obviously he's going to win a match best of 7. I wasn't assuming that Cesaro was going to 4-0 sweep him. But it was a pretty good match in my opinion. Hey, Roman, I don't like you. But yeah, speaking of Roman, he is no longer my least favorite wrestler. And I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Alright, so we got ourselves next. We're talking about the Divas match. Nikki Bella has returned, which is really cool. Not the best match. I mean, it just wasn't that great of a match. But, I mean, Nikki Bella returning was pretty cool. Carmella's not as good as I thought she was, but I like Carmella. I wish she would get traded to Raw so she could be with Enzo and Big Cass again. So I don't know if she's ready for a solo career yet. Speaking of women's wrestling, we got ourselves the Divas Championship, the Women's Championship with good old Charlotte versus the Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. Charlotte, I gotta give her props. For once, she did not get any help from anyone. She did a one-on-one match. A bad mistake by Sasha Banks, and Charlotte won the match fair and square. She's in the Banks statement. She just turns her over for a pin backwards and pins her just like that. Kind of not the best ending to the match, but it was actually a very smart maneuver by Charlotte. I'm not a Charlotte fan at all. You guys already know that. I'm not a Charlotte fan at all, but that was a great maneuver by her right there. Like, legit, that was a good move. With Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, that wasn't too bad of a match. It was a good match. I'm just a little salty about Finn Balor winning. I'm not a Finn Balor hater by any means. I like Finn Balor and all. It's just, I feel like the guy, they're pushing him too hardcore already, and I'm totally fine with him being pushed completely tons in NXT, and being pushed a lot because he's going to be the future of WWE pretty soon here, because he's an amazing athlete and wrestler. I just felt they could have held off a little bit more, maybe a month or two. I mean, even Sheamus, it was like a month, and Balor's better than him, but I felt like they could have went like at least 2 months, 1.5 months before they gave him a title shot and all. But yeah, they went ahead and did it really fast in his third match ever. But oh well, it's still, he'll be a good champion. Seth Rollins will eventually get another title shot too, and hopefully Roman doesn't get a title shot because he didn't get his United States Championship tonight. Speaking of Roman, he kind of screwed himself over. I mean, stupid, cost himself a title match by getting mad at Rusev. Rusev jumps him at the beginning. Hothead Roman can't take it, so he has to go ahead and fight him back. I understand Roman being mad, but he goes overly overboard, and he costs himself a title shot. I'm like, congrats, Roman. You got to beat up Rusev, but you don't get yourself a title shot. Most likely, he'll probably have, today on Raw, he'll probably have a title shot. I'm assuming probably he'll eventually get that. As long as he's away from the Universal title picture, I'm okay with that. Alright, so now we get ourselves to the World Championship match. Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler. A lot of potential in this match to be a really great match. And y'all already know, I'm going to come out straight out. Y'all already know that I am very biased about this match. You already know I am one of the biggest Dolph Ziggler fans in the world. I love Dolph Ziggler. He's my favorite wrestler in the whole wide world. Stealing the show and your girlfriend. I didn't expect him to win at all. He didn't win, for those of you that wanted to know. That wanted to get it spoiled, I guess. But it was just a horrible ending, in my opinion. That match could have been amazing. My dad was actually saying maybe there was possibly something wrong with Dean. Because it looked like, because at the very end of the match where they fell down and Dean just immediately did the dirty deeds, it just looked like Ambrose wasn't like all that into the match much. I don't know, we could just be being crazy or something, but it looked like for a while there, Dolph was trying to talk to Dean up on the top rope about what to do something, and maybe he just said, you know what, Dean, if you're not going to show up to wrestle, let's just end this match here and have you, because of course, they already know since it's scripted who's supposed to win, and they can end the match at any point during a certain amount of time period. So maybe he just said, you know what, Dean, if you're not going to show up to this match, maybe Dean was sick or something. I felt like he didn't show up to wrestle that much. It's just, I don't know, man. But they ended that match pretty quickly. Could have went a lot longer and been a lot more entertaining. It had a lot of potential. I thought could have possibly been match of the night, but it just didn't happen, and it was a pretty bad match. Dolph didn't do as much in the match as I would want him to do, but of course he didn't have the opportunity because it usually gets really intense towards the longer ending part of the matches. But the match just went so quickly. It's just like, yeah. The Miz versus what's his face? Apollo Crews, not the best match. I'm happy Miz is still champion. I was actually looking down at my phone playing Supercard when he did the Skull Crushing finale, so I didn't even really watch that match really that much at all. Alright, let's see here. We're going to the last match. The reason why I'm so ticked off, and the reason why Roman Reigns is no longer my least favorite wrestler in the whole wide world. Alright, so Brock Lesnar, right? He tends to have some really boring matches. Just throwing people around. I was happy when he did to John Cena just because I don't like John Cena very much. But I'd actually I like John Cena more than him now after tonight. I just can't stand Brock Lesnar anymore. But we'll get into that in a second. But of course, he has a lot of boring matches just throwing people around and stuff, not selling for anyone. Randy got a couple RKOs in this match, which was pretty darn cool and all. And just when you think there could be an opponent that could actually give him a run for his money, he's no selling anymore at all. He's just throwing Randy around. Randy gets a couple RKOs and a DDT, and that's about it. And then things just like go intense, go from a 0 to 100 real quick. Psychopath crazy Brock Lesnar, for no reason at all, starts socking him in the face over and over. I'm like, okay, that's him being his, like, UFC guy and stuff. But then we realize, once we get a closer look with the camera, he is legit socking him in the head as hard as he can. Like, I don't know if he just forgot for 1 second maybe that he was in WWE and that he's not supposed to actually legit hurt someone. Or maybe he's just doing, you know what, screw you, WWE. I'm just going to do whatever the heck I want, and I'll hurt people whenever I want, because I'm Brock Lesnar, because he's a jerk like that. I don't know, I'm going to say he's a dirtbag, because I don't want to say some other bad stuff here on this channel. But, if you guys didn't see that, Randy left like a little pool of blood in the ring. I'm pretty sure the poor guy, he's just come back, he's only had 3 matches. He's had one against The Miz, one against Heath Slater, which he lost, kind of funny. And then against Brock Lesnar, he gets demolished, which it's already boring watching him get the tar beat out of him after. It's just demeaning to Randy, man. Randy is one of the fiercest competitors out there, and just to show him get beat up like that is just ridiculous. As you can see, I'm pretty ticked off about this, and SummerSlam was just, I give it 1 star, maybe 2, because 2 good matches. It's just ridiculous how horrible this pay-per-view was. I knew that there was a chance that TakeOver was going to be able to just outshow this, but I didn't think SummerSlam was supposed to be one of the best pay-per-views in the year, and it's a 4-hour show. You thought they'd have plenty of chances to outshine TakeOver. TakeOver was amazing, man. It's just like this show was it was just crap, man. This was horrible crap. I just could not take this thing, man. I watched the whole pay-per-view. I don't plan on watching any of those matches over again. I mean, TakeOver was just amazing. And, man, that's just such a horrible thing to do, that Brock just randomly went off like that for no reason at all and just starts socking him in the face. Like, legit, he's literally legit trying to hurt Randy Orton at that point. He could have forgot. I feel guarantee that he should be suspended, no matter what. At the least, in my opinion, because Brock's done stuff like this before, not as bad as this, but I feel like Brock, I would fire him if I were in the position. That's probably some biased amount too, because I'm not necessarily a big Brock Lesnar fan and all, but I can't stand him even more now. I went from not liking him much, but I would be okay if he beat up people like Cena and Reigns, to now, this is the most amazing thing that I've ever thought. I never thought that I would find someone where I would cheer Reigns, actually. And now I've gotten to the point, if Lesnar and Reigns ever wrestle again, or John Cena and Lesnar wrestle again, I will actually cheer for Lesnar or Reigns there. I just cannot stand Brock now. I legit got so ticked off where I was like, what are you doing, you idiot? Why would you just start socking someone in the face as hard as you can right there, and then just start... As you can see, obviously, he is starting to spill blood too. The referees are trying to get you out there. And I feel like Shane legit went out there to stop him right there, to talk to him out of that thing. I don't think any of this was scripted. I could be completely wrong, could be completely scripted, but obviously him being busted up and cut like that was not scripted at all. But I don't think it was scripted at all. Shane coming out there, you're going to need to stop him. And then he goes, obviously Shane, he's an older, strawnier guy. Well, not stronger, but he's smaller, a lot smaller than Lesnar. Lesnar's going to pick him up. And it looked like Shane was legit hurting from that F5. Like, I feel like Brock didn't care about anything but himself at that point. I felt like Paul Heyman was actually trying to get him to stop too by talking him. And, I mean, he was trying to stay in character as much as possible, but I don't know, man. Just let me know in your comments. Well, I know there will be a lot of you people that disagree with me, but like, Rainbow, you're an idiot. I don't care. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me. I know there'll be a lot of people that do agree with me and a lot of people that don't agree with me. I'm sorry, guys. This episode was not as entertaining in the fact of being funny or talking about Supercard and stuff. We do have ourselves a team ring nomination in here. So in the comments below, if you want, you can go and write down what you think we're going to have for the first SummerSlam card. It would be cool if it were a Big Cass or a Sami Zayn for a pro. Dolph Ziggler, my favorite wrestler in the world. Seth Rollins, something cool like that. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments below how you felt about SummerSlam. I didn't like SummerSlam at all, much at all, besides those couple matches, maybe 3 matches, and if you include the Sheamus and Cesaro match. But yeah, I just felt like it just made me go over the top with that ending right there. That ending was just so messed up with him just cutting Randy Orton. Like, I feel like Randy's got a concussion for sure. I just don't think that he might be out for a while. Maybe at least a good month. And he just came back. That's not a cool thing to do. To take advantage of your MMA skills right there when obviously this is a scripted sport. Not fake. Scripted sport. Get it right. Scripted sport. And you're actually trying to hurt people. Alright, so my rant is over. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of Seeing Me Rant. Give me your opinions in the comments below. I care about all of your opinions. I care about the battery low. Hashtag battery low hype. But I care about all your opinions in the comments below. Tell me how you guys felt about SummerSlam. Give me your ratings, stuff like that. Tell me if I'm just crazy or something like that. Tell me anything if you agree. What do you agree with me on? If you agree with me on anything like that. I'm going to stop babbling on. Let you guys get to the commenting in the comments below. A little bit of a controversial maybe episode for Rainbow, but we're going to go and end it right here. Anyways, love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all via hashtag Burritos Nation. Ooh, later. We don't want no ham and cheese. We just want a better pay-per-view, please. And burritos. Yeah.